Hello, I'm Locke and this is Maya, and today I am finally using my degree to talk about something I should know about art. But not that much. Art school is more a place for de-learning than learning itself, and I'm not gonna use the artsy fartsy dumb art you find in galleries either, even though I personally like this stuff. Sorry, Leonardo. I'm here to talk about video game cover art, the deteriorating art form that best represented games before the internet and protagonists posing on covers were a thing. In the age of old, cover arts were the thing you looked for when doing the decision making behind renting or buying a new game. While no one really understood this, it was here that it really shined. Games were not as spread into other media as they are today, and even when they were, it was usually pretty awkward and weird.
Did you see the latest Nintendo newsletter?
Whoa, nice graphics. I'd like to get my hands on that game.
You mean you haven't played it yet? We can play it on my Nintendo Entertainment System. It's The Legend of Zelda, and it's really rad. Those creatures from Ganon are pretty bad. Octoroks, Tektites, Levers, too. But with your help, our hero pulls through. Yeah, go Link, yeah, get Zelda.
Awesome.
In the Atari, especially, cover arts were one of the most impactful details in a game. The Atari's graphics could not even begin to wish to fulfill the action-packed adventures designers wanted to express through their games. So, cover arts and booklets filled that void, often showing what the game was truly about and explaining the backstory that could not be included in the cartridge. Each Atari game had a handmade illustration made by extremely competent artists in general. They ranged from beautiful watercolors to airbrushed art and transformed the user experience of gamers into something else. It was through the game's box art that the gamer created his ties to the game. The same way the console read the ROM inside its cartridge, the player felt connected to the idea of the art, often forgetting that all he could see were two dots on the screen and maybe some screeches. But over time, those dots evolved. Those screeches turned into music, sound, and then even voice. And somewhere along the line, we changed our user experience when buying a game so much that box art was as useful as Playboys in 2020. But who do we blame for that death? Well, mostly us, the consumers. We keep buying everything, no matter how much they cripple us. Games are now $70 for a blank CD that lets you download 95% of the game over the internet when you put it on the console. 25% of its contents come later as DLC. Instructional booklets are digital Word files that look worse than the iCloud Pages doc I'm writing this on, and everything is so tasteless that a quick Google search will give you a better cover art than the official ones in most cases. We always had the abominations like Mega Man 1 and the butchering of every single Final Fantasy game ever in the West until Final Fantasy 7. But what really makes me sad is the way game stores look now, because they had all these amazing colors in a beautiful symphony of games, and now they just show lots of characters posing heroically. Everything looks like Altered Beast in 2020 basically. But as time evolved, we see new ways in which cover art can be used to make stuff better, even though game artists got extra lazy. Some games still have amazing covers like Star Wars Squadrons, Resident Evil 7, or even Cyberpunk 2077 are great examples of awesome covers. But for every Squadrons, there are 25 main characters posing like stupid asses on covers. Look at Bioshock. Amazing, mysterious, dark. Now Bioshock Infinite. Booker DeWitt and fireworks. It's bland. It doesn't talk about the amazing game that Bioshock Infinite is, and people think that this is marketable. Well, for 12-year-olds it is, but for adults, the intended audience of this game. It's just weird how no decent graphic designer comes to these assheads and say, hey, maybe you guys should consider making the box art related to the game so it attracts the right crowd. It is like they think we are unable of critical thinking. Oh wait. Yeah, maybe some of us aren't, but that is not the case here. The developers follow trends that work, and the criminal state that box arts are in right now is a result from that. The only way to repair that, talking to them. Tell them that you would buy games with more cohesive art. Make game stores places of wonder and excitement again, instead of a bunch of middle-aged white men in action poses in every damn cover. And some may argue that box arts are a thing of the past now that we are going full digital, but I don't really agree with that. I think the Steam storefront is a perfect example of how good art attracts people to your game. But of course, the counterpoint is that some people are really not attracted by the abstract or more artsy cover arts. But, well, you can make pretty good imagery without being abstract or artsy and without showing your main character in a pose. And I'll give an example of a cover art that actually shows the main character in a pose, but it's done right. Every Halo game made by Bungie. Ever. If you look at Halo, Combat Evolved has Master Chief looking at the screen, pointing his gun at us. And for its time, remember this game was launched 20 years ago. This kind of posing was original for its time, and with every sequel they upped it more and more and more and more until we reach Halo Reach, where they show every single character of the game in an action pose that might sound generic, but due to the content of the game, its tragic story and background, it's actually amazing. It's really well done. It's suitable. It demands, a game like Halo demands a Spartan warrior on its cover. But does a game like Death Stranding demands Norman Reedus on its cover? Or would it look better like this? Well, I think this is more a matter of opinion sometimes than anything else, but I can assure you that if you are just judging it for the design quality in general, I would 100% go for the other. And for me, the worst offenders are the steelbook covers for the PlayStation games, because most of them look much better than the original covers for the games. So they show that when they are doing something that they deem more premium, they go for the better designs, for the better arts, but when they are doing it for the masses, they don't give a fuck. They just shove a character there and whatever, it's done. This is game developers being extra lazy with their arts, and there is no damn excuse for that at all. Game developers need to up their art game so we can finally get some fun stuff in our storefronts. I mean, when you look at the new Steam library, you get some really amazing cover arts, but you also get some really shitty ones. And it's funny how the best cover arts come from indie games, and the worst comes from full price $60 games in general. It's the trend of cutting costs, but how do you explain cutting costs and still asking for $10 extra per game from your customers? Does that sound like it makes sense? No, it doesn't. Game devs, you're full of shit.
3, 2, 1.
And players, ask for more. I often read on Twitter people defending devs like they are God sent, but fuck them. We're paying customers. We should demand better stuff. Always. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe for more of this and other kinds of contents. I'll probably delay this week's video for Saturday due to my trip, so I'll see you guys next time.